What up, guys? CP the Tool Addict. Woo! How you doing? Just got home. My little buddy here is in my lap. He has to be right here with me. He just cannot accept it any other way because he hasn't seen me all day. It's been a very busy week, and I apologize for not being around much. If you guys thought so, I feel like I've left you guys out a little bit. But anyways, let's get on to what we're going to talk about today. Sata tools. We're going to get into this.
A few moments later.
Alright, so this is what I picked up from Sata. And basically, I just kind of wanted to take a look at it. And we're going to open this up, take a peek at this, talk about Sata, talk about them as a company, and talk about what I think about them and their sister company, Gearwrench, which these coincide, and it's kind of interesting from the research that I've been looking into. So let's open them up. Actually, let's look at the back here real quick because I want to talk about a couple things. The logo on here, which is changed to the Eagle logo from Matco, and maybe I'll try to put in a symbol or a picture of that symbol in here in the video when I do some editing on it. But I bought these E-Torx wrenches because I don't have any of these, and I would prefer to get the snap-on ratcheting ones, to be honest with you. But I just bought these because they were cheap, like 22 bucks. And I want to take a look at them. And of course, you know, they're not everybody's cup of tea. They might want these after I take a look at them. We'll look at the wrenches first, and then we'll talk about, as we're looking at the wrenches, something about Sata that I find interesting. This is a subsidiary company of Gearwrench, and these are predominantly made in China. In fact, I don't know that any of these tools are actually made in Taiwan, but these are 100% made in China. So, and most of the stuff I looked at, and if you can see here, there is some pretty bad chroming there on the end of this. So, and what the biggest thing is about chroming is, guys, is, and I want to bring in my Coke and stuff here because I want you to notice some of these satin finishes in this chroming process. This nickel finish that they've used on this stuff is a lot more durable. And when you start buying this cheaper Chinese stuff, you always have to be watching out for problems in the future, such as chipping chrome, and that stuff turns into glass-like shards. And I don't want to see anybody ever. I don't want to promote a tool, I guess, where safety becomes an issue over the long term. Yes, this tool might get you by, but always keep in mind these are going to need an extra bit more care to make sure that they stay in good shape, because this bright chrome, this plating, which is not the same as nickel finish, always leaves desirable things. And these little defects in here tend to be where you see issues start, rusting issues and whatnot. And maybe I'll see if I can find some stuff here real quick just to show you what I mean. Here is a China wrench. This is a 7/8. But if you notice where this starts to flake back, these are really extremely sharp areas.
That's a lot of damage. How about a little more?
Areas where the chrome is starting to depreciate from this area. So when you're on the fastener or whatnot, there's a potential you can cut your finger, and I definitely have. In fact, there's a really sharp edge right there. You can almost see it. It's like a knife edge. So that's my one concern. And I will tell you that overall, this wrench is in fairly decent shape, besides the fact that I drilled through this just to kind of show. But I do tend to see, if I have China, any type of tools that are China, I tend to try to protect them a little bit more, and they get wiped down a little bit more diligently so that I can avoid them from getting ruined. Even though they are technically not the greatest, I still take care of my tools. That's one of the things I do, you know. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. But you know, it's just something about them. You know, this chrome plating is not the best, but Sata is an interesting company. I've realized that they become very predominant on Amazon. And I think it's kind of interesting because Apex Tool Groups own Sata and Gearwrench. And although these wrenches do seem to be somewhat pretty decent, and let's get a Torx here. All right, so let's show you the fitment in here with just the Torx on this. Kind of sloppy on this one, but this is not a perfect fit for the fastener. It's just a T50, and it's a Mayhew, but it does.
I love gold.
It does fit pretty decently once you get down to the fastener. It does what it's supposed to do, and that's what we're looking for here. It's just to make sure that, you know, it's not too terrible. I needed the right fastener, and I don't have an E-Torx because I don't work on that many Germans, to be honest with you. That's why I bought this set partially too, was because I don't really run into that many, and I also use sockets most of the time, but there's those situations where you definitely need them on Germans for E-Torx or whatnot. But the wrenches themselves and the company themselves have some history, in my opinion, of being kind of trolly, in my opinion. Sata has definitely reversed the Matco logo, and it's almost like as if they're going after Matco specifically.
Got him! Got him!
Which I think is kind of interesting, considering Apex was part of Matco at one time. Katie Danaher, whatnot, and then they separated. Now Fortive owns Matco, Fortive Group. And the one thing, though, that's interesting to me is, and I don't have a ton of Gearwrench. I have a few wrenches, and I have a couple sockets. I have a couple 1/4-inch mid-length sockets, which have, you know, they serve their purpose and they're decent. These are 3/8 mid-length. Oh no, I have 3/8 and 1/4-inch mid-length sockets that I had bought to try out for chrome, because I don't use chrome that much. So I have a couple things from Gearwrench. I have a few, very few, of their Gearwrench wrenches left. These ones are, I believe, made in Taiwan before they started changing them over, so I will never get rid of these because they're what I consider to be some of the better ones. And these are my big. I have a few of the bigger sizes, and then I have a few of the smaller ones. I have a set that my dad had that was predated from clear back in the day. But Gearwrench has, you know, a phenomenal name in the industry, and there's a lot of you guys that like Gearwrench. The interesting part is why is Gearwrench using Sata? And I'm assuming, I can only assume one thing is to be on the Amazon market. I assume that Sata, and then this is just my opinion, but I assume Sata is to be take place of Gearwrench on the Amazon market, and this is where Sata is trying to go big, so to speak. And if you go to look at their website and whatnot, you can honestly tell the logo. We talked about this on a live stream, and it was very interesting to me, so I thought, you know, I would get into it and look at this stuff and just check out these wrenches. Now, we know that China is definitely not, you know, they're stepping up their game as far as quality and whatnot.
Oh, it stinks. Nice and good.
There's no doubt about it that they're getting better at what they do, okay? And I'm years ago, compared to this wrench, which you can see is very, very plain, very, you know, sharp-edged on the way the wrench is made, you know, as far as how it feels in your hand and whatnot. Whereas you can see here now, they have rounded the edges on them more on a lot of the wrenches. They're taking more interest in it. These are deeply etched in here. Nicely etched, I should say, at that. There's really nothing that looks too crazy on it as far as the etching on it. Which is interesting, but nonetheless, it's not the worst tool I've ever seen, to be honest with you. So, why is Sata trying to compete against Gearwrench? And once again, that brings me back to is that they don't want to do warranties through Amazon for Gearwrench, and it's because there's so many Gearwrench dealers out there. The bad part about it is I feel like they're backdooring their dealers. So your Gearwrench dealers and whatnot, I feel like they're backdooring them, and that's kind of what I find interesting, because Apex is really cruel, in my opinions, is what they do. Very methodical, very vindictive, very, you know, obviously sinister when it comes to how they do their business. And, you know, marketing this into Amazon means that they don't have to worry about POing their dealers who they'll sell Gearwrench off Amazon, then warranty it through their dealers. You know, all your Gearwrench dealers out there that are independent. Sata relieves that tension from that market, and it just, to me, almost seems ridiculous. Why not just pull out of Amazon and be loyal to your dealers? But that's definitely not Apex's MO. So something for you guys to think about. You know, you can tell me down in the comment box how you feel about it, but they're trying to, once again, like I said, they're trying to eliminate, in my opinion, having dealer warranties of Amazon tools on the tool trucks, and then your dealers aren't selling anything because all they're doing is warrantying. So Sata tools, are they a good tool? I would say that they are definitely in middle of the road, and they have definitely some potential as being a decent tool. What they're doing, yes, I get it. It definitely stops your tool, you know, selling your tools from Gearwrench on Amazon, so the guy warranties it, and it pushes this brand harder on Amazon, and that way they don't have to worry about warranting them. But at the end of the day, Gearwrench is so widely spread. I mean, they sell it to so many people. That's the only bad thing I find about being a Gearwrench dealer, is you're going to find yourself in a situation where you're going to be warranted. In fact, Snap-on warranties Gearwrench, believe it or not, because they sold them back in the day. They made the mistake of getting involved with them, and I even heard a story about a guy that had a broken Gearwrench, and it wasn't the same, and so they just gave him a Snap-on, called it a day. And I honestly agree with that 100%, because they're getting him away from that Gearwrench brand wholly. And if a guy has been running a Gearwrench tool for years, he gets a Snap-on one, it might entice him into being into Snap-on. So that's my thoughts on this, and you guys let me know in the comment box. I know this might seem a little bit conspiracy theorist, but honestly, Sata Tools, you know, it's just another brand, and I just don't understand this extra brand marketing. Like, we just continually keep getting new tools. In fact, it's just like there's a new company that comes up every single day. It gets so confusing for you guys, and I just try to be the voice of reason and logical, something to, you know, tell you guys, you know, hey, here's the deal. You know what you know, and you can do what you want. I don't want to seem like I'm selling it to you or telling you not to buy it or put you in that position. I only want to let you know this is the deal, and you can make your decision from there. I will put a link for the description for this set if you so choose to buy it, in the description, and here it is. So anyways, guys, that's the video for you. Hope you like it. Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe, ring that bell. Remember, keep your hands dirty and your money clean. Thanks for watching.